political leadership, wherever it is, their target is the common people. When all the activities and the actions of the political masters, rulers, leaders are pointedly helping the common people, elevating them, helping them, supporting them. This is one cause, that is the house, food and employment.
So essentially you're indicating
this is
that
the fourth important subject in one's life, that health is very, very important. Absolutely. Everyone is concerned about that.
Right.
Everywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
Everywhere in the world, health finds very important place, and Amma goes with this project, see, converting a building into a very spacious.
Right, and a premier healthcare facilities will extend the benefits, right?
Yes.
Now, let's also look at it from a legal standpoint. The fact that the DMK, after again securing a symbolic victory, at least some would say, some analysts would say that, over the uniform syllabus education system, they were hoping to perhaps take this a step forward and really go big on this case, legally speaking, using their legal channels involved. And what analysts are saying now is that the AIADMK in fact has preempted that move and has brought closure to it by way of tactfully handling the situation. Let me have your first reactions before I take Mr. Jinnah on perhaps the legal standpoint.
What is that success to boost up about the Samachir Kalvi? Court gave a clear direction to the state government to delete some portions. What does it mean?
Of course, the fact that the DMK had been strongly advocating for it in certain elements.
No, everyone who opposes the Samachir Kalvi, not this government or the earlier government. In fact, the court which decided the matter clearly gave instructions to delete some portions. Why should the court say that these are the portions to be deleted? Right. These are the portions to be removed. Right, so Amma's government had a point.
Right, so
that has been upheld.
We're flying off on a tangent here, talking about Samachir Kalvi, a separate issue altogether. We'll discuss that on another day. But for now, talking about it from a legal standpoint.
Coming to this, coming to this, every government, for the administrative reasons and administrative purposes, day-to-day administrative reasons, they can take decisions, and the decisions can be implemented in keeping in view of the public interest.
Right. That's the sense that, of course, Mr. Dalit is sharing with us. Mr. Jinnah, again, if I can come back to you, speaking of this issue legally, now we understand that there are already two public interest litigations that are on the new building in the High Court, of course, and the AIADMK-led government has proposed, again, a hospital. Now, is the DMK planning to take it further legally at this point, and what are the options that you're looking at?
Now, first of all, there are two sessions have been done in the Secretariat building. Even the budget session has been done. After all the safety measures have been taken, it has been considered by the DMK government only. It has been it has been constructed only for the purpose of new Secretariat. Definitely, it will be it will be used only for the purpose of new Secretariat. It will be the idea, but the government have now changed. As usual, they have only with the intention of motivated that DMK government has implemented the new Secretariat. It is the only thing behind it.
I think that's one charge that perhaps Mr. Jinnah is making, that ever since that electoral rout, the AIADMK seems a little keen on vindictive politics. At least that's the sense that we're getting from one section. That perhaps these decisions are motivated more out of political reasons than actually in terms of, if one were to look at it in terms of viability.
This is absolutely meaningless, baseless, and there is no point in that. There is no meaning in that. After all, the buildings are constructed. See, it's the government work is continuing. Governments are changing, governments are coming in, governments are going. So, for a building, this is constructed for a particular, see, this Chennai is celebrating its heritage year. So, Amma has, saved a beautiful old building so as to remember the heritage of the Madras city, that is in good condition, in good position, in good, for good purpose. Everything is very good with that. So, for the new building, yes, very suitable, very comfortable, very ideal job, ideal purpose of using that particular building is nothing other than establishing a hospital over there.
Right. Now,
And
speaking of course, making the best possible use of the facilities available, now questions have been raised. Now, this by a very separate set of analysts, which is, of course, these analysts are looking at it architecturally. Now, they say having constructed a building for the assembly, the architecture perhaps might not be in line with what an AIIMS such as institution would require. So, how does that figure into the calculations? You mentioned that the nuances have to be dealt with.
so you
the
mean
administration.
this is a very modern type of building showing the architecture, the morals of architecture
Not
by
architectural
looking
marvels,
at it,
the fact
are
that-
going inside the building and coming over the aquarium and other places like that inside the building?
Yeah, that's what some analysts indicate, that perhaps the interiors are planned out in such a fashion that perhaps the hospital, a great deal of investment will have to be done to restructure it to work.
Anyway, you have to concede, the former chief minister had some idea and he did some work, but doesn't mean that that should be accepted and agreeable to all the people, not necessarily. Therefore, when you just shout about the expense and the money incurred on the construction of the building, here is a very, very important, very ideal, very suitable, very purposeful job that has been taken up by the present government headed by Amma, going to establish a wonderful hospital in the heart of the city, coming from all over the country. Anybody can come from any corner of the village and make use of the facilities available over there.
But again, coming back to the subject of course, the architectural requirements of the place and the restrictions that it kind of imposes, when we look at elements such as the dome-shaped structure, which was again referred to as the Puducherry policeman's hat, when we look at that, and when we look at the other structural elements of this building here, the 1200 crore piece structure,
let us not
how much of
enter-
a problem will that be?
No, let us not enter into that tastes, and it differs with every individual. But the purpose now proposed by Amma is so excellent, and absolutely it is agreeable to everybody, whether it is whether any section of the society. Nobody will disagree with that. It is excellent idea at the very appropriate time, not disagreeing with anybody, not quarreling with anybody, not resorting to any gimmicks, nothing.
Right.
The building is available, the proposal has come, yes, hospital is going to be established, and that is going to stand as a monumental hospital, very important role that is going to play in the lives of Tamil Nadu people.
Right, so now let me just get Mr. Jinnah in one more time. Again, we're running out of time here. Mr. Jinnah, one question to you, of course. Now, the AIDMK has fielded this question. How about the DMK? Now, there were initially many complaints on the new building, such as flouting of safety regulations and badly structure. That was, of course, the charges that were raised. Now, do you believe that the building could be converted and used viably as a hospital right now?
Yeah, definitely. Since because the DMK has get into this new secretariat, only for the motivation they don't want to use the new secretariat building. Nothing more than that.
Right, so that's Mr. Jinnah again making that charge again that the decisions appear to be more politically motivated at this point. Now we're running out of time here. Let me have a few final thoughts from you. We discussed different aspects here, the healthcare aspect, we discussed the political aspect, the legal aspect, and also the fact that the heritage angle as well. Now in the build up to Madras Day, of course it's only a few days away now.
Yes.
A few days away now. How would you look at this decision in the context of Madras Day, where Fort St. George has been endowed with the responsibility of being the seat of power, and here's this new structure that's now being used for what appears to be the best possible use. In fact, Mr. Jinnah was citing the Hindu article there. In fact, the Hindu itself, the findings that were revealed that most number of people would rather have this as a hospital than other areas such as perhaps a museum, or they would rather have this as a hospital essentially. That's the sense that we got. So your views on it in the context of course, the Madras Heritage Day.
This hospital, this is going to be a marvelous hospital that is going to serve for a long time in the future to come. What else more?
Right. So and of course the charges by the DMK, they don't mean anything.
There is no meaning at all. There is no meaning at all. Our friend was suggesting that, see, in the days to come, we will revert to that building, this building, that building. There is no chance at all. That is the end. There is no, if somebody thinks and lives in their own, case, we can't answer that. See, Amma has come to power with not just a massive mandate. She has the idea of just reaching the mountain top. Nobody can just stop her. Her planning, her meticulous planning and precise implementing, her concern for the ordinary people, everything is now proved beyond doubt. The skillfulness of Amma is unmatchable.
Right. Now, sir, since you're also here, let me get a sense of course, how the support has been like from the members of the assembly. Understandably, the DMK is not quite optimistic about the idea of the hospital. How about the support that you're getting from the assembly?
Every party, even among the DMK people, there are a few people, they are different, mold. Otherwise, a man with a simple common idea concerning about the ordinary people will certainly support this cause. What else is the purpose that is more important than the health care that is going to be settled, that is made available in the building, except this establishing the converting it to a hospital? That too, friend, listen, AIIMS like institution is very rare. In the country of 120 crore people, that's the only institution in the country. The second AIIMS is going to come to Madras, and that is going to be the landmark in the history of healthcare in the whole country. Amma has created it.
Right, so that's the sense that we're getting from the AIDMK. Get ready for a shot in the arm as far as healthcare in Chennai is concerned. Mr. Jinnah from the DMK, thank you so much for joining us. And Mr. Errol Malai, it was lovely having you and to have your perspective as well, your thoughts on this new move by the new government in the assembly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
It was lovely having you. And that was, of course, the big question that we were probing, whether or not it's a shot in the arm for the healthcare system in Chennai. We'll be back in just a few minutes with lots more updates and developments coming in not only from Chennai but from across the country. Keep watching NDTV Hindu.